Okay, this video, I was having trouble with my exhaust system. The bong, it had a plug in it, and I used I used the 10 millimeter socket, one of these things, to try to remove it, but it ended up stripping it because it was just jammed in there. I used penetrating oil, I used freeze off, I heated the thing up with the propane torch. Uh, I used this wrench right here and I put as much force as I could on it, and I actually put that bar down there on the ground onto the end of this thing, and I was pushing and getting really good leverage, and it moved my entire bench, so there was just like a lot of torque and everything that I put on that, and it just wouldn't budge. And I soaked it for like 2 days, it wouldn't come apart. So what I decided to do is this right here. It's like a little trick that I've got to help you get out these stubborn freaking, bolts and stuff. This one, it already had an Allen hole in it, so there was already a hole sort of drilled in it, but I stripped out the Allen Allen wrench hole. But what I did is I got my drill and I got my largest drill bit in there and then just drilled straight down through it. Okay, so the wall of it was thinner. And then once I got to that part, you can see right here, I'll zoom in a little bit. What I did is I drilled straight down in 4 places. You can see where I just drilled straight down on that side, on this side, that side, and that side. So I divided that thing up into 4 pieces, and you can see where the drill holes are, like right there on this side, over there. But I just drilled down through 4 separate places, and I use this also right here. I bought a rotary tool, and that's like a metal uh, bit that's on there. You could just drill through metals and stuff like that. I just got it at Home Depot or Lowe's, one of those places. But I got that, and the way that I did it is I started off with like the smallest drill bit whenever I drilled down through the edge of this right here. I started with the smallest one that I had, and then I just got bigger and bigger sizes until I felt the size of it was getting closer and closer to the thread on the internal part of this. Let me zoom in on this so you can see. I did catch the thread just a little bit there, drilling and stuff, but the places where I drilled, you can see there's not much damage from it or anything. So that's how it turned out on the inside. But that's all I did, is basically I drilled down and then used my smallest bit, and then I used a little bit larger bit and a larger bit until I started getting close to the threads on the inside of this. You can tell, but I just used a flashlight, and I can see rust from the inside of these threads showing through that thing. And if I zoom in on this one more time, you'll see what I'm talking about. But you can see how I went through the threads just a little bit right there. Once you see through the threads, it really weakens the metal. See, I can just squeeze that and crush it now because the metal is so weak where I drilled through. But I divided it up in 4 pieces, and then the thing that I did at the very end is I just got a hammer and a screwdriver, and I just hit it this angle right here, and then just knock these 4 pieces over there to the inside of the hole. So that's basically how I did it, and it prevented me from having to go to some mechanic or whatever and spend like hundreds of dollars or however much they'll rip you off. But that's another way that you can take out a stubborn bolt or whatever. You just drill a hole through it, make the walls thin, and then drill 4 holes with some drill bits down through the edges near the threads, and then you increase the size of the drill bit until it gets close to the internal threads of the piece that you're working on. And then finally you just do the last little bit with either your drill bit or purchase one of these like little metal bits that, you know, eats away at metal. And your final process is to get a screwdriver and knock those pieces right there to the inside of the hole away from the threads, and then that's it. So I hope you like this video.